Certainly did, and Box has been down in the rooms. He's brought up one of the stars, and I think you mentioned him in the last quarter. You thought he could have been a bit of the X factor. He had a couple of big crunching tackles in that final quarter as well, and in the third quarter.
Now that he's next to me, he couldn't hurt a fly, could he?
Well, he did. Callan Mckeon, we speak of. Callan, thanks for joining us in the Gippsland Live post-game show, mate. What a win.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fantastic. It was one we really needed. Coming off the back of Moe last week, and even though Trogan's sitting quite low, like, we can't take them for granted. They were a fantastic side today, so to put that one on the board was very important for us. So
now, I know you didn't hear this because you're out there playing, but you weren't listening in through the day, but in the last quarter you're standing on the bench, there's a couple of minutes to go. You're obviously pretty eager to get back on. Poppy was eager to get you back on the ground. What were you thinking at that stage? You're trying to get on. He thought because of your pace and your tackling pressure it was going to be important. What were you thinking?
No, that was exactly what I was thinking. I just wanted to get back on the ground and try and lock it in, and the words from the coaches was, let's everyone find someone, let's not zone off, let's find a man and lock it down, because if we zone off we can get those easy ones out the back for them. So if we find someone, lock it down and don't let any players loose and get it out the back. So
that 1-2 handball, that left foot kick, I wrote it for you. I thought she's gonna be the difference, and you would have thought the same when you got the second touch, entering 50.
I was calling for a back. I was hoping it was going to go through, but it just came off the side, and it just a mongrel kick went through. But I was happy with the point to try and jet us over the line then. So
yeah, absolutely. Now just take us back to a couple of you. You obviously they call you Minnie. Minnie is the nickname, of course. You're not very tall in stature, but gee, you got some wheels, mate. And your forward 50 pressure, and even coming out of the 50 as well, is a credit. Now I know you don't like to see players get hurt, and you certainly, I saw you actually go back to him when you tackled him. Of course, we speak of Jackson McMahon, but you just had him in your sights, and you just nailed him. A heat-seeking missile it was, and you put on a great tackle, and he did come off and didn't take any further part in the game, but that must be a key and a focus you come into each game with.
Yeah, well, being small, it's hard for me to take those big marks overhead, so I've got to bring something to the team, and pace, and bring that, and the tackle pressure is something that I have to do personally, and I've got to be thinking about that so I can help out my team to retain the ball and keep it forward.
Hey, just take us through your thoughts on having a reserve side, the feeling around the club overall, seniors and reserves, and the fact that both sides are travelling nicely at the moment.
Yeah, our atmosphere is fantastic. Going back to last year when we would be training on a Tuesday night, we would get 11 blokes on the track. So this year so far we're getting on average about 30 on the track. So we got people in Melbourne that are travelling down. So the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic to have the reserves in. So it couldn't be any better.
Of course, Paul Carter, we're talking with Callan Mckeon here from the Bairnsdale side. They got off by 3 points this afternoon.
Callan, can you tell us about your forward setup when you had the breeze behind you? At one stage there was only 4 forwards and another time 5. What was the reasoning for that?
Yeah, so what we've been doing is been starting our wings as a defensive winger, and we've been bringing 2 high half forwards up to the wing as well. So we've got representation both forward of the centre stoppage and also back. So leaving our really dangerous, either high marking like Ethan East or Braden Mckeon, dangerous down forward.
The other one was Kieran Vickery, and anywhere in his vicinity he has got great hands, and as a midfielder, as a high half forward, just putting it in that area, you must have full faith in him that 9 times out of 10 just about he's going to get it.
Yeah, well, going back a couple of weeks ago he was starting on the wing, being as an outside mid, but going back to last week against Moe, I think he kicked 4 or 5 goals being that target, and no one could stop him. He was always putting himself in front, and if he didn't take the mark he was drawing the free from being in front of his man, so he's been fantastic for the last couple of weeks.
I'll tell you what, we've got a special comments guy by the name of Nick Lacino. He's obviously doing some other work at the minute, but he's in danger, isn't he? Callan speaks very, very well.
It's nice to have someone up here who's articulate, who seems like he's a good bloke.
Yeah.
Who's got hair coming from everywhere on his head,
and lip.
And lip as well. I mean, all of those are an important component. Hey, listen, your side today, actually, when I walked past the club rooms, and that's why I asked what the general feeling was, just the camaraderie off the field between the players was good. The vibe between the players was good.
The youngsters?
Yeah, the youngsters was good. And what I liked also, though, there was a couple of moments in that game where temper started to stretch a little bit, and you can always tell how tight a side is by how much support they get when they needed it, and it was there.
Yeah, there's always little bits of niggly stuff going on in the game, so I always got players that are always asking for something else and they don't get it, but it's a bit of talk. We talk about it, we get over it, and we just move on to the next thing. So the sooner we can do that, the better we're going to be as a side and keep going forward.
Because there was a few times there that Trfm fell for it, and they had, I think, Collison, the full-back, resulted in a goal, and then there was another one late in the game as well.
Yep, had a shot on goal.
Had a shot on goal. So those are the sorts of things that if you're intense and hard at the ball, but at the same time discipline, that's the secret. Have you found the coach? He seems like I've never met him face to face, but he seems like he's enjoying the role, and probably he should be.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Going on last year was a bit harder for him, having a young group that hadn't played a lot of senior footy, and his goal was to get these reserves in, and he's done that, exactly that. And because of those reserves coming in, we've been able to move forward as a senior group and to put these wins on the board. So without him, I don't think we'd be where we are today.
Was there much spoken about just where your position is on the ladder? At all?
No, there wasn't really. It was just about getting the next win on the board and trying to get these 2 in a row, then take it to 3. So there was nothing spoken about where we were sitting, but it was just a matter of putting the wins on the board and then getting them in a row.
Yeah, so all of a sudden I'd say you pop up into the 5 now.
Yeah, we'll get to some round the ground scores after the break, but we reckon that at least one of those, well, Druin and Leongatha played off against each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
So either way there, we reckon you're into the top 5. The challenge now for the Bairnsdale side, and we're talking to Callan Mckeon, one of the stars of the Red Leagues, is you're undefeated at home, haven't had a win away from home. Now next week, of course, you take on Wonthaggi down there in South Gippsland. In our pre-game show, now we're not too sure if this is correct, but Box Lacino mentioned that it's the longest trip ever for any Victorian club ever in Victoria. Now we can't confirm that. We can't confirm that.
And look, I think the facts that Box said it's true means that it's probably not.
Yeah, but it's a road trip and you've got to get an away win.
In fact, he's going to shoot off in 5 minutes to start the journey to Wonthaggi.
It must be the focus to start to get these away wins.
Yeah, no, that's very important. If you look at our losses away so far, we lost to Sale by 3 points. I think it was Maffra by 23-24, and then also about 9 to Druin. So they're close games, and now it's just a matter of winning them, especially a close game today, 3 points. So that was important for us to get that win. So those close ones are always the ones that we need to win.
Absolutely. Of course, you're a star, mate. We thank you for coming in and have a chat in our post-game show. Callan Mckeon, a heat-seeking missile is now known as the Mini.
Heat-seeking missile.
Yep, the Mini. Well done, mate. Thanks for your time in the Gippsland Live post-game.
Thanks for having me, guys.
What a star he is. We'll get to a quick break. You're listening to Gippsland Live.